Hey, YouTubers, it's your finest host by Mike. What's going on? So, anyway, let me tell you what's been going on last week. So, I purchased a couple of units last week. This is something I've been doing for like the last 13 years. Last year, I probably brought about 5 rooms, and I've been doing like a lot of toy stuff. Even doing the toy shows. I did okay with the toy shows. I might get back into it, but it's gonna take probably the whole summer just to build up enough toys to start going into the next season coming up. So I'm still kind of between a rock and a hard place with that because I've been doing a lot better, just buying storage units with hundreds to thousands of items in it and making money than buying individual items from flea markets, thrift shops, or other people and paying about to almost the same price I'm paying for a storage unit. So go figure. You know what I mean? So I did buy a couple of units. The one unit that did stick out was a unit that I purchased. Like for instance, you got somebody mention a guy named Dave. There's two Daves that work in antique collectible mall in Livingston, the Livingston Mall. I said it right. Dave McMurrow, which is the owner, Little Short Dave, aka Old Man Dave. Then you got Tall Dave, which is his daughter's children's father. Young guy, tall. And I met Tall Dave through Short Dave, or the owner. Because I used to always do business with him. But now he lets this kid run and deal with everything. He's kind of a cheapskate, and it's like sometimes when you're dealing with business, it's not good to have that kind of rapport with people, because when you do that, it kind of messes up your business, and a lot of people don't really want to deal with you because they feel like you're too cheap and you're trying to get over on them, especially when they go in the shop and they see it's just ridiculous. But anyhow, ironically, the same person who I brought this unit from, the brother, so the story is the guy died. The guy split. The girl who works there, she did tell me that the guy died, and I said, "What is he, old white man?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Oh man." She said, "What happened?" He's gonna have a whole bunch of hoarded crap in his fucking unit. Cause I'm gonna tell you, real old black men, real old Hispanic men, and especially real old white men, they seem to have a lot of clutter, a lot of hoarding, just junk in their units. Always for some fucking reason. Sometimes they'll have decent shit, but it'll be a lot more garbage and clutter and just miscellaneous crap than anything. But you can find decent shit. Not stuff that I would want to personally collect, but stuff I know I can move, but still in all. Now, the thing is, so when she told me that, I did feel bad that he passed. And I know that, it takes about 2 to 3 months or so for a unit to go up for auction. Because by law they have to do things a certain way, and it takes months and paperwork, this, that, and dirt, and all that other jibber jabber. So I called up them because I know they have a big mall and they can display it, and they have people of all walks of earth that buys and sell and trade and shit. So when I told them about it, they said, "Wait a minute," and I was like, "Yeah, I brought a unit," and he said, "What? You ain't bought a unit in so? Did you buy it in so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah." Come to find out, they went to the brother's house, and the same guy who brought his unit, he died on his bed in the bedroom there, and he died, I believe, on New Year's evening or New Year's Day or something, whatever. So they brought a whole bunch of stuff from there, and the brother said that he couldn't get in the storage unit because he doesn't have the key, yada yada, all this other stuff. So they wanted, they were trying to get a hold of the arcade from him, so when I contacted them and let them know I had it, which is a small world, they wanted to offer me, I thought it was a very disrespectful price. It doesn't matter, and because I know them, I did tell them what I paid for the unit, which I didn't have to, but the owner said something today that kind of pissed me off, and I was a little upset the fact that he actually had the audacity to fucking tell me, "Well, you only pay XYZ for the unit." And I said, "Well, it's none of your business or anybody's fucking business what I pay for something." And I did say that. Because, in reality, I tell you something in confidence because I figure we're cool. And regardless, you're a businessman, I'm a businessman. And I said, "Well, you know what? You buy shit all the time. You pay pennies on a fucking dollar and you charge thousands on a dollar for stuff. So what does that mean? And then I brought up what I sold stuff to him for, because they always do that. Oh, well, we're only going to get this for it and that for it. And then, you know, you turn around and you go in there a couple of weeks or a month or so later and the damn thing is quadrupled the price. Then they wonder why they don't move a lot of their shit, because their fucking prices are ridiculous. You know, and it's like a smack in the face. And then people always think, oh, well, I have a business. Just because you have a storefront or a store does not mean that it makes you more entitled than it makes me, because I sell at flea markets or I sell to people like you. At the end of the day, what I do is a business as well. I pay taxes just like you. I'm just fucking smart enough to not have to sit in one location, especially a half-witted, messed up mall like Livingston Mall like that. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm gonna be looking at business with them, even though I've done a lot of decent endeavors with them. I just really didn't like how and what he said, and sometimes it just takes one stupid verbal thing to piss me off and put me in a whole different mood, and that did it. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, and it's all because they wanted to pay me $500 for an arcade that's worth $2,500. And then it's always, oh, well, you know, we gotta find the people for it. It's gonna sit here. It's gonna beep bop bop scoop bop bop beep beep boop bop bop c beep boop boop beep and beep bop 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 beep and scoop bop 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 beep boop boop beep 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 boop boop and all that shit. I don't need to hear all that. I mean, it's a 1980 fucking one. Legit Sega with both of the Sega badges on the fucking thing with the serial numbers and everything. Legit 1981 Sega Frogger arcade cabinet working. And you mean to fucking tell me you trying to hit me in my head for $500? Talking about you're gonna sell it, you're gonna put it in your store for $1,000? But if somebody offer you $8, you get the fuck out of here, man. I see this shit. Come on, man. I'm tired of people sitting here like I'm stupid and trying to insult my intelligence. This year, I'm on some different shit with everybody. I let everybody kind of like fuck me my ass for the last time, and that's never going to happen again with nobody. I don't give a fuck who they are, how cool I am, whether it's from people in Columbus, people in the Meadowlands, people in wherever, garage sales, all that. That shit is done. If we can't meet on neutral ground, you can kick rocks, go fuck yourself, and that's it. You know, that's the way I'm doing shit. You know, I've always been way more than fair with people, and then when the tables are turned, you know, I just can't do it no more with nobody. You know what I mean? So I did feel a certain way about that, and and it would have been alright if he didn't verbally say, "Yeah, but you paid this for it, so you looking." It doesn't matter what the fuck I paid for something, what I'm looking to get for something. That's none of your business. You know, I mean, you know, I was real pissed off today about that, and I'm still upset about that. That just goes to show how childish and how entitled some people are. And a lot of people think just because they own a business, that gives them the right to think they can fucking rob, rip people off. Nah, man, you go fuck yourself. Well, I can't. Anyhow, moving on. So outside that unit, I also got some old rock and roll pins. So I'll probably be taking those and looking them up and see what they're going for. I'll probably sell them for $10, $15 each, because they are old. This guy did have a lot of old shit. A lot of stuff I donated. It was crazy, man. So outside of that, Friday, I went to. This is my first time ever buying pods. You know, like the pods that they bring the truck to your house and they bring a truck to your house. They drop the pod off. You load the pod with whatever you want to load it. Then they come back. You put your lock on it, and they normally take it to wherever they're gonna take it to or whatever, and whatnot. So that's the first time I've ever bought a pod. So it was my mistake because I was driving halfway down there, in a rental. So I was already almost at $50 or $60. It was crazy, but so. I get halfway there and I call, and corporate tell me, well, you know what, no, you got to call us 24 hours in advance. And I'm like, what? But I guess it's because they have to have people there that can locate each pod, bring it down, and then move it to another area where you can load and unload safely so they can keep doing business and whatever. But I didn't know that because, again, it's my first time buying pods, so I didn't know. Will I buy a pod again? I definitely would. I definitely would. It was definitely a good pod. Um, and the manager, the guy that does everything, real nice guy, real cool guy. It was hard to freaking find a place because me and Isaiah was there for like 45 minutes driving around. I'm like, oh my god, there's nobody here. What the hell? Da, da, da. And come to find out, I had to keep driving around the property like 5 times, and the 6th time we finally found out where he was. So thank God for that. So what is this dog doing? So yeah. So on Saturday we did that because Friday I couldn't go because I had to set the appointment up for Saturday. So Saturday morning, the rain was malicious. It rained off and on, and I got caught in a lot of rain because I wanted Isaiah to stay on the truck, and I hand him stuff, and whatever wasn't too heavy for him, he could just push and put, so we can build up the truck and whatever. Being that I had a 16-foot truck and that was a 8x16, everything just fit perfect. So anyway, on Saturday, before going there, I decided to strategically go to the Meadowlands and see who was there because last week I got a Star Wars, the Darth Vader Star Wars carrying case with some figures with weapons and stuff in it from Henry. A lot of people want. He said he had it for a while. Then I remember that he did have it. He had it out before. He wanted ridiculous amounts for it, and I guess he just put everything back in there. But a lot of those people don't collect that stuff. So a lot of people were really looking at it to make money on it. So they figured they couldn't make money on it. But for a collector, that was gold. He wanted $250. At first, I know he wanted months ago. He wanted $500. I'm pretty sure somebody took some shit or some shit wound up being missing out of there. I'm pretty confident of that. But anyway, the stuff that he had, and he wanted $250 for it. I told him, well, I want to walk around. They only had one whole row with people almost all the way to the end. So they probably had about maybe 70, 80 people last week at the market, somewhere around that. Could have been a little less, could have been a little more, but it was relatively a lot more than it was this past Saturday. So, so we did that, and I told him, I said, well, you know what, I would. Or he wanted $250. I offered him $150. I said I would do $150. But you could think about it. Let me walk around and see if I find anything else. And he was like, well, all right, well, you're gonna pay me right now. And I'm like, okay, bet. So that's what I did. So I paid him right. Yeah, I paid him right there. And the weapons alone were worth twice that. I mean, Star Wars weapons are probably way more expensive than G.I. Joe weapons. I mean, technically, vintage Star Wars weapons are up there with, not up there, but they're close enough to what do you call that shit? To Dino Riders. I don't think that I think Dino Riders is probably the most expensive vintage toy line you could think of when it comes to you got broken pieces for dinosaurs that go for like $30-$40 and better. So maybe that's not accurate, but they're up there. So I went out there this Saturday and they had one row, but they literally probably had 10 people that set up. A lot of people, a lot of the hardcore guys were standing there walking around buying shit and looking for stuff to buy, but it was probably about 10, maybe 14. You know what I mean? And this individual, he was there, and there's one kid that's cool. He buys video games, real tall kid. I'm not gonna mention his name because he likes to be private. He knows who he is. Real cool kid. It's funny because last week he came over and he brought my what the hell did he buy? He brought all my Black Series Star Wars and other stuff. Because the only Star Wars Black Series I'm keeping are the blister ones, the ones that come on the blister packs. Because I like the fact I just like them. The other ones I got rid of, just like I got rid of all my wrestlers a couple of weeks prior. So he came through and he got we made deals. He was happy with it. I was happy with it. We both were comfortable. So the same person that he got this stuff from, this person had this. Something in there is definitely broken or loose. I think it has something to do with this leg. And you could probably hear it. Hold on. There you go. Last time I got one of these was also in New Jersey. They had one. This was years ago before I knew about red, white, and blue, and before Second Avenue was open. This particular My Unique is in Union, and when I first moved here, I was going there all day, every day. I was spending hours in there in the morning. Then I would come pick Isaiah up from school, and sometimes, depending on what I got, I would either go back after I picked him up, and or I would wait till the next day to go back again. And they had one. I don't remember what I paid for it. I'm pretty sure I paid under $10 for it, for him there. And this is from Inhumanoids. Now, when I saw this, I was like, oh shit. Now, there's a figure that looks similar to him that you do see a lot of in thrift shops. It does look very similar to this dude. I know exactly who this was. As soon as I got close to it and I picked it up. Somebody else had it in his hand. I was like, fuck. And I'm not going to mention who it was. I was like, shit. So, being that I know this toy, it was the face and everything that really gave in. So, I was like, what the hell? So he was like, oh, well, I think it's so-and-so, but I'm not really too sure. And, the rules is once you put something down and you kind of walk away from something, you're done. That's just the way it is. Because sometimes people put something down to go look for something else or grab something else, or sometimes you give that little courtesy. And I think there was something broken on the one I had, and I sold it for a good price, but relatively cheap compared to what they go for. And I always say when or if I get more of these, I would keep them next time. So it's definitely been about 3.5 years or so since I've gotten one. And ironically, I paid less for this one. I'm not going to say what I paid or who I got it from, but I'm happy I got it. And I got it for so fucking cheap that it's ridiculous. So this is definitely going to go with, I'll find somewhere to put it, but it is pretty dope. And I'm hoping this week coming up, he will have more stuff because he didn't get a chance to put everything out. So I'm hoping he'll come with more stuff from the same room, and or maybe a lot of other stuff that he had in the truck. Some stuff like this would be in there, because evidently I'm gonna show you what I got from the other person that brought the stuff from him before I got there. And this person was gonna show it to me anyway, but somebody else put me on to it and said, hey, so and so, blah 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 got this. So I did inquire about it, and I was like, but he was gonna, I was gonna show it to you anyway, and he wasn't mad that he showed that he showed it to me, because he if he didn't want to, he didn't have to. So I'm gonna show you that in a second. So pretty dope. And his name is Metlar or Metlar, something like that. That's his name. So pretty badass. I think the other one I got from there, I think the head was broken, or something was either broken or glued on it. I can't remember exactly what. But that's pretty badass. And then this bad boy. And ironically, I had parts for this. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna interrupt this real quick to tell you that story. But this individual did have this in his car, and he had most of the pieces for it. I did look through it, and I realized that there are a couple of pieces missing, even though there were some pieces that I personally had. Now, before I get back to this, let me show you. Now, I've had a lot of extra G.I. Joe figures, Transformer figures, a ton of weapons and accessories for both. And we all know that stuff is expensive, even more so than figures. And I've been selling a lot of it back and forth to a couple of guys I know down in Columbus flea market. But I'm going to stop selling a lot of shit to them, because I just feel like a lot of people are just taking advantage. And I feel like I'm just, I'm way undercharging people, and they just take advantage of the fact that a lot of people there sell shit cheap, and I give good deals on stuff, and they want great deals, but then I feel like if they're gonna sell something, they want top dollar, and I just think that's real hypocritical of everybody. A lot of people do that shit, so it is what it is. But I have bags, I had tons of bags of shit like this, like loose stuff. I've done deals with my boy Eddie, and then I've gotten stuff from all types of other deals, from God knows wherever else and whatever, and I would get a lot of bulk amount of stuff, and then I would take it to them, and I'll use that money to buy other stuff down there. but I'm glad this time I just was too lazy to do it, and then I started saying, you know what, I'm just gonna hold on to this. I'm just gonna hold on to that. Like you see this Star Wars piece here, but I think this is on Power of the Force. I don't think this is Return. I mean, like vintage, whatever. But there are some a lot of GI Joe stuff and some. Of course, there's some Star Wars stuff in this bag too. So anyway, so I'm just gonna start keeping that shit from now on. And you know, I'm not really gonna be eager to be giving anything to nobody anymore. If people want to buy stuff, they buy. If they don't buy, I don't care who they are, because I brought a lot of shit off a lot of people, and they they want top dollar for it. But then when they're buying stuff, it's everybody always want to downplay you. Oh, well, it's not worth this much. It's not this. It's not that. And I'm like, dude, I'm a nigga from Brooklyn, New York. You can never outsmart me or outcon me. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of people just. I'm an old man, so they just think I'm stupid and shit. I play dumb. I play the way you expect me to play, and that even goes for people down in Columbus. So over the years, I've gotten to know a lot more people. So we're more comfortable with each other down there. And I do have a way better rapport with people in Columbus, even vendors, than I do in Meadowlands, which is ironic considering a lot of these guys I used to go to live auctions with them, and they all know if I want to buy a unit, they're not getting it. You know what I mean? So it's just ironic how that works. But getting back to this thing, so this Batman pajama here, I really wanted the box art, so anything inside of it, it was kind of relevant. We worked out a price. He was happy with it because the deal he got some video game stuff with this, and he got a pretty good deal with it. So it's basically like he got this for free. But I'm cool with that because at the end of the day, everybody knows I collect this stuff. I'm really big now into collecting vintage Star Wars loose, vintage G.I. Joe loose, vintage G1 Transformers loose, vintage LJN Dungeons and Dragons loose. Eagle Force, maybe. I'm still contemplating on that because I have some Eagle Force downstairs in the basement, but I haven't really thought if I really want to get into that or not yet. So I'm still contemplating on that. But Mask and of course the vintage Hasbro WWE with WWF figures, because it was called WWF back then. So that's my main shit right now, and of course the Star Wars figures, if I didn't say that already. So I know this box got to be worth a couple of bucks, just the box alone. It's in pretty decent condition considering the fact that it's old, but I like this old stuff because one, I collect it, and two, it's a nice piece. 3, I am going to be putting the piece back in here. I just got to write down in my book what pieces I need for this. I still have to take my my Death Star station out and remember what part I need for that, because I need a lot of parts for Star Wars stuff. And getting this stuff from this individual didn't help. It helped because the price was cheap, but it didn't help neither because there's stuff I need for this stuff. So, all right. So what was inside that box? I'm gonna show you everything. Excuse me. Then I'm gonna show you the stuff that I had already, like I was saying, that I have from weapons and stuff. So we have this. Obviously, you got the blue back thing here. You got this piece as well, and then you got the roof, and you got the bottom. So technically, for those who may ask, what is this? It's a lot of people think that it's actually it's supposed to be like another part of the Death Star. It's not. It was never intended to be a Death Star. It's called Darth Vader's Star Destroyer. Anybody know that the Star Destroyer is that real skinny in the front and real big and bulky, long ass ship? You know, like those ships and shit. I mean, a lot of people always dog this thing and it's and hey, like. Because technically, if you look at the back where the blue is, the back of it, right? When Kenner first announced this thing, and when they first started doing blueprints and talking about this. The thing fell off because the bottom of this thing is broken. The issue with this is that technically, the Millennium Falcon was supposed to be able to hook on the back of this thing, but because this thing wasn't big enough, wasn't tall enough, and is extremely hollow, and being that the Millennium Falcon is a lot bigger and wider than this, it's not accurate for it to fit on the back of this. Because when they first start promoting this, that's what they said that was going to be the play feature. But evidently, Kenner had good ideas to a certain extent, but they fucked up a lot with their with the product of their Star Wars figures and how they worded stuff. They did screw up a lot of shit. I mean, Kenner did that a lot. Like they took they kept renaming instead of giving the characters the right names that were movie accurate in the movies. They turned around and just called them so and so commander, this and that. They even gave them guys that was well known to wear all gray. They had them with black or vice versa, and even a fucking toy, the action figure would be black, but then the figure artwork would be gray and vice versa. So they fucked up a lot of their product. But this thing here, I didn't clip it on. That's why it's leaning like this, because I don't plan on keeping it out. I don't plan on displaying it. I already have the box, so I'm going to display it through the box. I'm going to put this back in the box and just find somewhere to put it, like the Death Star. The reason why all this other vehicle stuff is out, because I don't have the boxes for it. But this is pretty dope. What's missing on here, I'll tell you, like basically everything that this individual gave me with this box. Well, you already seen that, so I could take that off. I didn't want to snap it in because I want to bring it back out. It's missing a bulb. It's missing a well, obviously I can get a bulb, but it's actually missing a it's missing a bulb. So so technically, wait a minute, it's not missing a bulb. It's missing two things. It's missing the black clip that holds a hologram in place. I have the bulb. The bulb cover, but it's missing the bulb holder. That little bulb holder is missing, and the black clip. And now, just looking at this, I may actually need another one of these white things down here to hold that front post. So, but everything else is here. So it's not missing much. I mean, it does have the box, so that's a good thing. So that's in there. So let me put this stuff in here now, so that way I don't have to worry about it. But I do have to write it down in a book. Where is my book? Because if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna do it, and then I'm gonna mess up. Because I really need to start ordering stuff. I already ordered those clamshells, the little clamshells that you put the G.I. Joe and 3 3/4 Star Wars figures and stuff in. And basically the same thing, make it easier. The same thing you see these Star Wars figures on. I have a whole bunch of my G.I. Joes down here that I have to do like I did with my Cobras. Because my boy Eddie gave me a whole bunch of them. And I basically, and now I think I might need more, because I think there's way more than 200 figures in here. These are all Joes. These are all G.I. Joe. Like, you got Spirit, you got Sergeant Little Marauder, Mutt. Like, some of these guys here, I'm going to have to order some other oversized ones too for them to fit. Like something like this Duke and stuff like that. These are the Star Brigade. Then I got these guys in here that are still bagged. So I am not gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I'm not gonna take them out the bag because they're still inside the bag sealed. Mostly all this stuff came from Eddie. Then you got the man himself. I still gotta get my hands on a Tiger Force Outback. But next to the Tiger Force Outback, he's the next expensive. Him and Shockwave are the two most expensive Night Force figures. Outback and Shockwave. Speaking of Night Force, we got Muskrat here. All Night Force guys are expensive, just like the vehicles. But I think there's over 200 of these figures, and I gotta do the same thing I did in the other room. And then I'm gonna do a room tour. If I don't do a room tour of all this, I would at least do a room tour of that, of my GI Joe room. So that's what we doing there. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell I have that book. The book is here somewhere. I just want to find it. Whatever. I'll do it after. It doesn't matter. Well, after the video, I'll do it. Because I want to look at it and make sure I remember what is missing. So anyway, actually, you know what? I could do it. I know what I need. So I'm not worried about it. I just want to put it in here because I need the room. So... yeah, I didn't want to clip everything in because, like I said, I don't plan on displaying this. See what I'm saying? Even these are kind of hard to come out because I don't want to break them. These things are over 30 years old. See? Just hearing that makes me nervous. So, whoop. Okay. Push this out. Okay, since I'm doing this, let me tell you guys right now. So some of these are the people. Well, it doesn't matter. Some of these pieces I had already. So, you know, the stuff I got from this individual. I hate using the word individual because I consider him a cool guy and a friend, but I respect his privacy, and he is a very private person. Him and his brother. So I don't really want to, you know, put them on blast or have nobody. Oh, you know, have somebody watch the video, and they're like, oh, well, you just sold that, and you should have sold it to him. I would, blah, 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 blah. You know, he rather deal with people he know. You know, especially when it comes to the stuff at the market. Because again, he did not have to sell me this. He could have just kept it, looked it up. But again, you know, I did really want the box. And from what I looked at from inside, I thought things were broken and this and that. So I was like, I need this piece anyway. But hey, whatever else is in here, because it was raining. It was raining Saturday, and me and Isaiah had to hurry up and get to down to Farmingdale. But still all pretty badass. Well, I'm going out of frame. So, you know, some pieces were that I actually had myself, and then, you know, the main thing is he had the mass majority of the bulk of the stuff that really makes up the Star Destroyer piece. And a lot of people do think this is part of the Death Star. Trust me, for a long time I thought it was too, but it's not. It's actually the Star Destroyer, where he's actually on that. He's on his own Star Destroyer ship, and you know, where he's got his own chamber and everything. That's basically what that's supposed to be. Some people think it's stupid because the fact, I'm like, dude, this is in the early 90s. I mean, early 80s. Relax. Like, I understand if they did this in the 90s or now. You know, of course it should be, or it should be a play set that's about the size of the Millennium Falcon, but just one part. In reality, it is still bigger than the Millennium Falcon, because the Millennium Falcon playset, all the figures, you know, you got to take pieces off just for them to stand in a Millennium Falcon. Now, they can't stand in the cockpit because, you know, they're sitting. You understand? So, in reality, this is bigger than, I mean, you know, this area is bigger. I mean, it's just like, it's not even a quarter. It's like really like, what, maybe 5% of a fucking Star Destroyer, and it's just really concentrating on that fecal point of where, you know, where he chokes, you know, where he's walking walking the area, and they're looking up at him as he's walking by and looking out the window and stuff. So relax, it's a kid toy, and some people, a lot of you guys out there just too fucking nerdy and geeky. Like, stop. Like, y'all bitch and moan about the wrong thing, and y'all kiss everybody else's ass about, you know, I mean, no, y'all bitch and moan about the right thing, and y'all kiss other people's asses, and you want to jump on a bandwagon for the fucking wrong thing. And I'm like, relax. It's a toy from the early '80s. You know, if you don't have an imagination, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it was a toy. It was meant to be played with. It wasn't meant like nowadays. You got HasLab and Hot Toys, Lego. You got everybody doing everything now. So things are bigger now. The scale is different compared to what it was fucking almost 40 years ago. This thing is almost 40 years old. Relax. Either pay it as how much it is due, shut the fuck up, get rid of it, and keep it moving. It's a nice toy for what it is and for what it was from back then. You know, this is something that, I mean, I was a grown-ass man when this stuff came out. This is stuff I like. You know, over the years, I start to enjoy, I mean, I'm enjoying older toys now than I did before. Before, I was into Hot Toys and this and that, Sideshow. And it's like now, all that shit is dime a dozen. Everybody and their grandmother got it. Everybody and their grandmother's collecting this shit. Everybody and their grandmother's scalpers. Everybody and their grandmother buying toys. Everybody and their grandmother's going to the fucking toy shows. Everybody and their grandmother's going thrifting, getting this shit. Everybody and their grandmother's buying this stuff from people. Everybody and their grandmother are going to toy shows getting this crap now. But, you know, and not everybody and their grandmother is being able to find and or get a lot of this stuff unless they've taken a lot of money out of the bank to get this stuff. Unless, you know, I tell everybody, listen, take your time. Sooner or later, if you collect stuff or even if you're looking to buy, it'll come to you. Just take your time and let shit come to you. You go looking for it, you're going to pay a lot for it, especially if you're a reseller. Most of this stuff, I'm not reselling. You know what I'm saying? I'm big into collecting this stuff. I'm getting more into retro old. Like 2 years ago, hell, as a matter of fact, this time last year, this was forward video game shit. You know, and now look, it hasn't been a full year. I mean, come on, I've been collecting the 3 3/4 G.I. Joes now and the G1 Transformers for what, just over a year? And I virtually almost got every fucking Transformer. And almost every one of my Transformers are complete. G.I. Joe, about the same. About, maybe. I think almost every G.I. Joe figure I have has weapons, but not all of them are complete. But you guys get the picture. I got a long way to go for Star Wars Vintage. I'm missing a lot of figures and a lot of vehicles and a lot of vehicle parts. So anybody out there like Star Wars Mike that got pieces for Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, or anybody who knows anybody who has pieces for the Droid Factory, pieces for the Jawa playset, Yoda's playset, a couple of the Hoth sets, not the Imperial attack base, which is not even a real Imperial attack base. That makes no sense, because of the reality, that's the Rebels attack base, because the Rebels were on planet Hoth and Darth Vader and them raided planet Hoth. So in reality, that's not even an Imperial attack base. Well, I guess in a way you could say it is an Imperial attack base, because it's it is an attack base that the Imperials did attack. So I guess in some ways you look at it, you're like, okay, well, planet Hoth, the Rebels were on there. So it is really a Rebel base, but being that the Imperials did invade, I guess in a way you could understand why they call it the Imperial attack base. I get it now. And now just think about it. Yeah, it makes sense. Because, you know, Imperials came there and they attacked the base. So Imperial attack base. Yeah, it makes sense. So, you know, there you have it. You know, all those years of people asking the why questions, now you got the fucking answers. Thanks to me. Sometimes when you talk out loud, it comes to you. So speaking of the stuff I got in that box, that was all in this box here, along with this little vehicle. Somebody definitely glued something on there. I gonna take a wild gander and say that this is most likely the piece for it. The dome. It snaps, or somebody just decided to glue it on there. And I think I have this, and mine is actually missing a dome. So now I have an extra one. So yeah, I'll put that right. We'll put you right there, man. And we got this piece of the skiff thing, or what you call it. This is missing everything. It's missing everything, but that was in there. So now I gotta look this up and see how much it's gonna cost. I mean, is it gonna be cheaper to get another one? I mean, just to buy one, or cheaper to get the parts for it? So that's always the $200,000 question. Then this piece, I didn't even realize I have this already. But this is missing the dome. So I'll probably either sell this one or look and see if mine's an upgrade. And if it's real cheap, I'll buy the dome. If not, I'll just sell it. Because I think the one I got over there, the one I got over there does have the dome anyway. Oh, well, that one, wait a minute. I just realized. That one is missing this front gun piece. So, alright, so this is an upgrade. This is complete. I don't know, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Because some of these things, you're better off just rebuying a whole vehicle than just dealing with the parts. Because the parts will cost more than the vehicle in the long run. So, sometimes it's just not worth it. Then, in the bag, there was this, which I do have this. And we got some of these weapons. Six of these. There's different ones. So, yeah. And then these are also in there. I gotta look this thing up to see exactly what it is, because I don't know if, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, it should be in there. Or maybe these went to a transformer or something, because they are chrome. I don't remember Star Wars having chrome pieces. So I don't know what that's from, but that was in there. So this individual, like I said, this individual may have more vintage stuff. I mean, come on. He had this big Metlar and humanoid that I personally got that other people slept on and didn't pick. They picked it up, but they, whatever. And then this individual got this with all these Star Wars stuff in there. So I was there waiting, hoping he was going to put out more stuff. So you never know. He probably got more stuff in the back of the truck that he didn't get a chance to get out because it was raining. So again, this was also in there, as I just showed you guys. I showed you this. This was in there as well. It has one of the gun things. Another one is just busted. You see right here is broken. But it does have one. There it is. It does have this one cannon here. So that just snaps right in here. So I might just go ahead and buy another one, just this cannon piece. Because these things are kind of expensive. This particular one, especially. So, looks like whoever had this stuff, they just... Yeah, it looks like whoever had this stuff, they just... whatever, you know? Sometimes it's part of their childhood and they just keep stuff. Let kids play with it, whatever. But, there you have that. So that was in there too. Then we got here a tauntaun with the holster, with the harness. And we have a dewback also with the harness. I think the dewback got the piece that goes on the front of the head. The mask or something like that, or whatever the fuck you call it. Doesn't have that, but these two I'm keeping. Because I already have one of each. But both of mine are missing the harness, I believe. So that's a come up. And last but not least, we have this guy here with the thing. It wasn't the whole team or nothing like that. So you got him, and we got the mighty Jabba, but just Jabba himself. I had to glue this arm. I had to glue the right arm. This arm does move and it does pop in and out. But yeah, you got the mighty Jabba. Solo. That was terrible. But yeah. I remember back in the day when they first came out with the Power to Force stuff, it was a little hard to distinguish the difference between the vintage one and that particular one. Because I think they use the same mold. I think the paints were slightly different. But I do remember that was a big thing. So, yeah to that. So yeah, I don't know what I might do with this stuff. I'll probably look it up and decide to keep what I'm going to keep and then sell what I'm going to sell. So that was basically Saturday. So Sunday, I was supposed to have to like I did, because last Sunday I did buy stuff from Brian and some other individuals down in Columbus. And then, like I said, last Saturday I got some stuff from the Meadowlands. I only got the thing from Henry, that big, what's his name again? The big Darth Vader head with the stuff inside. Yesterday, I didn't go to Columbus. I didn't go to the Columbus flea market. I was too tired from that Saturday butt kicking, so I decided to do a late morning, which was 11:30 flea market, garage sale. I did actually pretty good because I basically made $100 and change more than what I spent at the Woodbridge toy show. So my plan was to go to the Woodbridge toy show yesterday. Then from there, come home and do a garage sale. I thought about it last minute, and I still had some stuff in the back of the truck from the unit me and Isaiah had to pick. Well, we had to pick up from that pod that I won online, and all the video game stuff I sold. I sold all that stuff to to somebody. So that unit paid for itself, really. Just on that, and there was some decent stuff in there. So I did good. So at the Woodbridge Toy Show, I brought this stuff from Paul's Toy Room. He has his own store in Sayville. So just go to Facebook and look up Paul's Toy Room. So I got this LJ and stuff from him. I'm getting the the Dungeons and Master stuff. So got these PVCs. Got these guys. So you got this dude, this cat, and this dude. Then we got this creature, bendable. And we got this one. The sword is busted though. The sword is broken. Lizard Man. And then last but not least, the fully posable young man. He's missing his sword. And basically the price he gave me all this stuff for is what you would pay for this. Of course with his sword, but not bad for all this D&D stuff. So yeah, to that. And then I also picked this up from this dude and I screwed up. Where the hell is it? I'm gonna start taking pictures of everything that I have here, so that way when I do go to shows, I know I don't keep buying the same thing. Because at the Woodbridge Toy Show, a little over 2 weeks ago, I purchased the Black Series boxed Princess Leia from the promoter, from the toy promoter, Eric himself. Come home and I had the bitch. I've sold everything already, but I am still collecting Black Series, but I'm collecting them on blister pack. I'm not doing the box stuff no more. And the prices dropped drastically for them. A lot of these toys, because the market is so saturated with this shit, do you guys know how long it's going to take to be able to make money off that stuff? The older stuff's just going to go up in value. The newer stuff is fucking dime a dozen. So, anyway, I wound up getting him. This one dude, never seen him before. He had him. He only wanted $20 on him. I thought that was a good deal. And I'm like, damn, I know I got Rakondo, but I don't remember having Bazooka. So now I got Bazooka again. Because now I came home and I see number 54, and I'm looking in and I see it right there. So I'm like, fuck. And I think I brought them both for the same show, just different people. And it's ironic because this same guy, he had the Loyal Subjects, Best Action Figures, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Street Styles, and he had two of them that I needed. And for some reason, I got so confused. I thought I had them, and so I got home and I was walking up I was walking up the stairs here. I was like, son of a bitch. And he told me he would give them both to me for 20 each. And it was one of the other Donatellos and one of the other Leonardos. And I needed fucking both. And I needed both of them. So I'm a little disgusted at myself for that. But you guys probably heard me mention this before. Every time I go to the show, I'm always, when I do have money to spare, but I'm contemplating on buying a Predaking, the G1 Predaking, this dude and his wife is always there. But I never pull the trigger because he had it there for a while. But he said he don't care if somebody's offering him $295. He wants $300. He's selling it for $300, not $299, not $299.50, $300 on the nose. I was like, wow, and he mean it because he had a lot of offers and he just wouldn't budge. But yesterday he gave me $25 off on it. So go figure. You know, sometimes patience and due diligence pays off, and it damn sure did because I wound up getting it for $275. He hooked me up with it, so that was pretty dope. And it was his personal thing, so he said no, he's gonna keep bringing it out for every show, and if somebody give him a 3-4, fine. If they don't, fine. Either way, it doesn't matter to him. And he's right because he damn sure had it there for over a year and he didn't give a shit. And I kept asking him about it because what I want to do is all my G1 combiners, I want to have them all I want to have each of them in combiner mode and each in regular robot mode right next to each other. So much so that I actually, today I brought these two tier 3 things because they fit perfectly. And so it's basically, you could say 5 tiers of stuff. Because one, I have to put my hand through it to be able to turn on and off the light switch to that other room. But it's all good. So I am going to be putting my combiners there. That's what I want to do with them. Because I could use more space in that closet that I made specifically for the Transformers. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that was basically it. So I also got this from him too. The first thing I brought before I bust that gun, because Henry, he did have the C-3PO in that Vader case 2 weeks ago, but the C-3PO was missing the legs. But he had the net with the upper torso, but he didn't have the legs for C-3PO. So this guy and his wife had it, and he knocked off $5 for me. I was like, would you take 20? He said, for you, sure, I'll take 20. So that was cool. So I paid 20 for this. I was happy with it because now I got a C-3PO complete. So that's pretty dope. Yay to me. And then, I walked around his wife, even before I brought anything, because I know them. They're real nice people. Of course, I keep forgetting their name. And she asked to hold she said, well, I can hold your helmet here for you. Because I went on my motorcycle. So she's, said, while you walk around. I said, thank you. That really took a lot off. So, yeah. I walked around like 2 or 3 times. And I just walked away with, I have a Bubbly Bee backpack that I put everything in. Everything fit just perfect. I also got a NECA. I've also brought a NECA Street Fighter Ryu, still on the packet. I paid $30 for it. Thought it was a good price, so that's why I brought it. The guy had $30 on it. I ain't even talking down to 25. I just said I'll take it for 30. I thought it was pretty dope. But and I also, this old white man, him and his wife come to the shows too, and he had a Tomahawk. He had a G.I. Joe Tomahawk. Only thing it was missing was the 6 missiles. No, 8. It was missing because each wing stabilizer carries 3 of the small missiles. Then on the side, it has 2 bigger ones. So that's 8 altogether. But I didn't realize at first that some of the stuff was glued. But being that it's so well, it's a nice display piece. And for the price he was asking, he was only asking $25 for it. It's easy for me to find a lift ticket. And, Eddie's got missiles, so it's easy for me to get some missiles for the Tomahawk. And I can always get missiles and a lift ticket from him. So, maybe I'll meet up with him sometime this week and pick that stuff up. Because I was like, I'll probably just put it out for sale. I'll probably sell it. You know what I mean? I might actually announce it knowing, yeah, maybe I'll sell it. I don't know yet, but other than that, it's pretty dope. $25 for that. So anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. So with this dude and his wife, I mean, obviously that is the going price for him. He's around 275 to about 400 complete on eBay sold. And I've been contemplating this for a while. And every time I had the money, every time I did a show, him and his wife were not there. They were not there for the show. So I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. And then when they're there, I'm not. Or if they are there, I don't have the money to comfortably spare. Because I either go there, like I said 2 weeks ago, I brought almost $300 worth of shit from other people. And of course, if him and his wife were there that week, I wouldn't have got that stuff. And I wound up getting him. And then that stuff 2 weeks ago, I would have missed out on because some of the people weren't there. And then the ones that were there didn't have the same stuff because that stuff sold. So it worked out for the better. I wound up getting it this week while I had the money. And then, like I said, yesterday, I spent about $400 there, and I made that money back a couple of hours later by doing my garage sale. Still made an extra 100 and change over what I put out, and I still have a garage full of shit. So perfect. I mean, basically the money I spent, I got from my boy Tony, who bought the video game stuff. Plus, he still owes me cash, so pretty dope. So thanks, Tony. That's my nigga, though, man. Sometimes I want to fucking snap his neck, but he has his good moments. If he didn't, I wouldn't fuck with him, and vice versa, because he's like a young, handsome Dominican version of me, younger and shorter too. He probably watches. Get the fuck out of here, this nigga. That's probably what those are 2 words he's saying with that. Like I think I got that Count Dracula laugh. But anyway, so yeah, I'm very happy to get this because every time I go to the show and think about the Wood show, the Woodbridge show, I'm always thinking about him and his wife with this thing. And every time he's like, it's still here because I'm looking for it, and he has it in the same spot every time. And just to and some of y'all probably saying 300 for that. Listen, yeah. Predator King is one of those expensive he's one of those expensive combiners. Definitely, especially complete. And for all the trolls and stuff out there, everything. Everything. So we have the books, and we have all the weapons and everything. So now I can put this complete in my book, complete with everything, and then I can get Predator King's weapons, because I also have other parts and stuff, so I can put them all together. So that's pretty dope. So now I have a complete Predator King, and I have all 5 of them without the without all the parts to complete him. And I got those from 2nd Avenue like about 2 years ago. Definitely about 2 years ago. I think it was before my brother passed away or some shit. I don't remember, but yeah, I walked in there on a Sunday and they just had them. They had them all out there. So you got that. I showed you this. Only thing I didn't show you guys was the Tomahawk and the Street Fighter Ryu, but you can go online and look that up. That's downstairs on the table because I already know I brought that to sell it. But since it's right here, I'll show you guys the Tomahawk and what I'm talking about. So I took the chairs out because obviously I had to like hook this on my motorcycle because this was actually outside on the bike, and all the accessories that come off were in a bag secured in my Bubbly Bee backpack. But he has all 10 blades. Actually, I'm gonna take this. If I don't keep this one, I'm gonna take this engine cover piece off and put it on one of mine hanging up because I can use it. I have the other 3 side wing stabilizers. It has the wheels. I think one of the wheels or 2 of them are glued or hot glued in. So I'm not really too sure. But if you look here, I think he goes to red, white, and blue. I just see that. You see that B? So I won't be surprised if they split G.I. Joe shit. Like, he probably got the vehicles and stuff from a red, white, and blue down in Berlin or wherever the hell, either Berlin or Trenton. And all the action figures came up a couple of weeks ago. Because I know that B. That B means blue. Because red, white, and blue, they go by the color system. So, you know, like they have certain color. They normally have like 2 to 3 colors every week. And like a new color, like let's say a new color won't be on sale. So let's say, for instance, this week is blue. This week is blue, basically meaning that it's regular price. So I know that B. I just noticed that right now. But I have everything other than lift ticket and everything but lift ticket and the actual the 8 missiles. And the actual cockpit window is actually cracked. But for fucking $25, you can't beat this. You can't beat that for $25. So, you can't. Actually, you know, let me put it together so the haters can see. Because there's always going to be somebody, oh yeah, we do. Not that I really give a shit, but I like to shut people up before they even start. So, and that wind was kicking my ass, man, on Sunday. Like, it was extremely dangerous. It was a good thing I really know how to ride. Not to toot my own horn, but really knowing how to ride meant a lot, because let me tell you, there's been times when that bike, you know, that wind was really pushing my little ass on that bike. You know, let me tell you something. I'm not, you know, my motorcycle is a 300-something pound crotch rocket. They're not meant to be in wind. They're not Harley Davidsons and those kind of bikes. So yeah, we got a Tomahawk. That's weird though. It's like, And I know a couple of guys that go to the Berlin and the red, white, and blue in Trenton, being that it's so close to it's so close to the Columbus flea market. These guys live down there, and I heard there was some issues a couple of weeks ago with G.I. Joes and other stuff. See, this is why I stopped going, because it's like I don't like to argue and debate over shit I gotta pay for. I'm not gonna fight you or argue with you in no flea market, no thrift shop, no garage sale over stuff I gotta pay for. But I will fight and probably smack the shit out of you over disrespect. That's the difference. And it's just too much of that. People like fucking animals, you know. They don't know what to do with they sell. They don't have the proper decorum and etiquette. So they don't know how to fucking act. And I don't like being around a whole bunch of stupid, ignorant people. Even though sometimes people would think I'm a stupid, ignorant person, that's only because I can't tolerate bullshit. So people they misconstrue the difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? And I know somebody right now, Star Wars Mike and Brian, probably sitting there like this fucking guy with these rants and these videos. Man, shut the fuck up and don't watch. How about that, you clowns? Because I know they're like, man, this guy with his epic rants. It's not epic. Just, you know, spitting straight truth. So yeah, this thing is cracked. I didn't even notice that this thing cracked before he took it off, or it cracked. Wow, I don't even know that, to be honest. Because when he handed it to me, I was like, oh shit, did he crack it when he was trying to take it off, or was it like that beforehand? Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it was cracked. And here are all of the. This is probably how he got it, and he probably just picked it up. Because I'm pretty sure he got it before somebody else did. And he probably had the missiles and stuff. Because I asked him if he had more G.I. Joes. He said, well, yeah, these are the only G.I. Joes I brought. There's only G.I. Joe stuff I brought. He had some other stuff, too. He had a whole bunch of the Kenner Prince of Thieves stuff. So yeah, he's got all 10 of them. I already counted them. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you got all 10 of the Tomahawk's blades. So you need lift ticket and you need the 8 missiles, and this son bitch is complete. And again, who wouldn't? You'd be a damn fool not to pay $24 for that. And that's why this damn fool brought it. So that's it. That's everything I got this week. So catch you guys later. Peace.